yo, introduced me to toxic and now she hates sane. That was me. Peace and blessings to you all. This is your girl Nye and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am so happy to have you. And if you're returning, what's up fam? How's it going? Hope all is well. On my channel, I like to touch on topics such as spirituality, lifestyle, and beauty. And today we are here on the spirituality and lifestyle tip. It's a little bit of both, a little bit of fusion. This is like some hot off the press type shit. Like typically I kind of pre-plan these videos. I feel the need to talk about something that is occurring in my life right now because those are the topics I can speak very passionately about because it's in real life, okay? I definitely want to start getting into topics that actually resonate with my life and the things that I've endured throughout my journey, spiritual journey, as well as prior to or leading up to as well, because there's just some shit out here I really feel like the girls need to know. The girls and the boys, honestly. Everyone can benefit from just hearing about someone else's situation or their journey, because there might be something about them that you may resonate to more than someone else. So I'm all here for being honest, vulnerable, and truly sharing with you guys, you know, all the steps that got Nye to where she is right here, right now. And right now, Nye is still dealing with some real life shit, okay? When it comes to this healing, okay? I literally take this shit a day at a time at this point in life because I've realized that it's really important for me to stay present and to understand like myself wholly, like for real. I want to talk about toxicity. Yes, I do want to talk about it because a lot of the time, you know, when you are going through your healing journey, you will realize that there were toxic people around you that you might have to eliminate, you know, or toxic situations that just were no longer serving you anymore, and you just kind of have to like part ways from, whether that might be like work or like business related, or you know, just friendships, relationships, whatever it may be, right? But what happens when you realize a lot of these toxic things that you have attracted in your life is due to you, okay? Like, you got this toxic trait. It ain't all them. It's not all them coming to you, baby. It's you. What do you do then? Like, what do you do when you realize that you indeed may be the reason why that you continue to have these toxic relationships with other people? And for me, this has been a real wake-up call. You know, I feel like as if I have played victim a lot of the times when it comes to relationships and forming relationships with other people, because I just feel like as an empath, I'm very genuine when it comes to relationships and connections. I'm going in with the best and purest intentions. Majority of the time, I say majority because, you know, there is those one-offs when it is what it is, but majority of the time. So when things happen or occur to me, I very much so am like, oh my gosh, I've been such a good person. How dare they? How could they? So on and so on, right? And one day I just kind of had to look back and realize like this can't be it. What are you doing, Nye? Like, what are you doing that is attracting this? Like, are you not truly holding yourself fully accountable for your actions and what it is that you are putting out there into the universe? And it kind of clicked, like, oh shit, I really do think that just because I think that I'm a good person, that I am being this great person to everyone and I'm attracting this horrible situation, like that doesn't even make sense, right? Like what's really going on? So for me, I'm gonna be very candid. For me, it'd be the niggas. introduced me to toxic and now she hates sane. That was me. That was me. Like, I think that was like a future me at one point or something. But that was literally my life. Like, I came from a city that toxic relationships were like honestly the only option. And I don't think it's just like a city thing anymore. I think it's like an overall thing, unfortunately, with this generation. But where I resided, niggas thought the toxic shit was just like all fun and games. Like, that's literally the only options I feel like I was presented while I resided there. So when I decided to relocate, I also wanted to remove that mindset when it came to dating and, you know, realize that I do have the right to have great options, you know, when it comes to dating. I don't have to have every dating experience be like something that ends in just like so dramatically or just so toxic that like it just fell apart, you know, like it doesn't have to be like that. And of course, you know, me moving to a new city, I thought I was no longer gonna attract these type of people or whatever because I'm healing. Let me tell you how spirit will always test you to see if you're standing true to your words for real, okay? So I find it no coincidence. That's why I end up running to people from where I was living out here, or running into people from like my past, maybe college days, even like high school, you know, like, or just interacting with men who very much so reminded me of the men that I was just like running away from, basically. Maybe they were from the South too. Shit, no shade to the men in the South, because not all y'all are trash, okay? But just saying, this is my experience I'm talking about. Attracting men who are in relationships, attracting men who are emotionally unavailable. It felt as if it was like a never-ending story, like of me having to make the best of these toxic men that I'm thinking I'm attracting. But realistically, I had to take a look in the mirror and say like, okay, sis, why is it that you keep attracting these men for real? Like, what is it about them that appeals to you? Okay, because your favorite singer is Brent Faiyaz, and if you've listened to any Brent song, baby, toxic, okay? And I don't know why that excites me. Like, the idea of dealing with a man who is just like inconsistent or wishy-washy, or it just seems like it's a fucking roller coaster of not so much fun that I have concluded would be a good time. I don't know. You know, we don't know why we do the things we do until we like acknowledge that we like to do it, right? So that's what happened with me. When I really started touching on my shadow work at the end of last year, I acknowledged this tendency that I have, and I realized a lot of it stemmed from the instability and inconsistent relationships that stemmed from my childhood ultimately. Okay, so we're getting real. It's getting deep. So my childhood definitely had an influx of relationships when it came to men, whether that be my mom. I actually remember my mom going through like her dating process, you know, post-divorce from my father, and that happened when I was like 3, right? So then I remember seeing my father doing the same thing on his side, dating multiple women, having different women coming in and out of my life. Okay, so to me, I felt like I was unable to ever build like these stable relationships, and I saw them and how their relationships are, you know, just people kind of passing and going. And then not to call them out, I mean, they're grown, they can do what they want, but I'm just saying, like, that's how I took it at that age. So I didn't really see what this like stability truly looked like. Even when my mom had got remarried, I also saw her go through another divorce. So that was quite a bit, you know, like I really never really seen I have a couple examples within, like maybe one example, I honestly, within my own family dynamics. So it was something about the lack of availability, lack of just presence when it came to these relationships that I like picked up on, or I just kind of thought was the way to go about it. So of course, when I started dating, I was very adamant about being in these long relationships with these men, because it's like, okay, let me just keep them long. I don't want it to be... Oh, sorry, the dog's barking. Okay, so here I am in these longer relationships, not really acknowledging toxic behavior just within the dynamic, or just things that I didn't enjoy. It was more so about like keeping them for as long as I can. Okay, that's not healthy, right? And then, I will say in the beginning of my healing process, I was acknowledging that I wasn't doing. Hold on, my dog wants to go crazy. So here I am healing, or beginning my healing process, and I'm just thinking like, okay, I'm gonna start making better decisions when it comes to men, because I'm making better decisions when it comes to myself. That didn't necessarily happen. It wasn't like an overnight thing. It wasn't like I woke up one day and I'm choosing better, so like choosing from a better selection of men. I will say I started to attract more like-minded men, or men that I felt like more so fit what it was that I'm looking for. But ultimately, it wasn't like an overnight kind of ordeal. That's not how it worked. Anyways, I don't even know really how I got here, but I started to realize that the reason why I like these toxic traits is because they resonated with me. Not necessarily what it was that I felt like I was deserving of, or what it was that I was wanting for myself, but what fit for me and what I've known. And I would always speak outwardly about what it was that I'm wanting to truly attract. I would even write it out. I used to journal or frequently script list of like characteristics and traits I wanted in a man. And then I started to be like, okay, maybe I'm not attracting it because I'm not all of these things myself, right? So then here I am going and becoming the best version of who I am. Ultimately to still attract these same type of men who were not like on this list. And it really stemmed down to me understanding that I think that ultimately I didn't think that man existed. I don't think that I thought that was something that could be a reality for me, because it had not presented itself. Okay, but baby, let me tell you about ascension, because you keep rising high and higher, right? Getting connected to spirit, getting connected to yourself ultimately, and you will soon attract someone of like-mindedness. Praise God. And of course it seems like this great day where you're like, oh my gosh, yes, finally, this is the reciprocation I've been looking for. This is the communication I've been looking for. This is that. Yeah, that sounds great, but ultimately, if you have continued to want to be in relationships that were less than, or entertain toxic people and behavior because of that was something out of comfort, what do you do to rid yourself of that? That is what I'm going through right now. This is what I'm going through. This is the tea. Learning how to unlearn certain things, certain traits that you used to favor or truly find fitting for you and your personality. And when ultimately you realize that maybe you wanted emotionally unavailable because you were scared to see what emotionally available looked like, what it felt like. Maybe you didn't really think that was an experience that you could truly handle or understand, because you've never seen an example of that, nor do you feel as if you might be ready for it. And even if you do feel as if you're ready, if you got a glimpse or a taste, you might fucking run away. I'm not gonna hold you. You might run away, because it's a lot more work and a lot more that goes into it than what we would like to think. It's a lot easier to be in toxic situations and toxic relationships ultimately, because it's a lot less effort that you have to put on your part, especially when you're understanding that someone might not have genuine intentions. It's like, well, I don't even have to put in as much work or as much effort, but I'm going to complain about it the entire time and expect more from them, knowing damn well they can't give it to me. Let me stop hollering at myself. And these are not just romantic relationships, these are friendships as well. I've had plenty of toxic friendships that I had to remove myself ultimately because I was realizing that they did not have genuine intentions when it came to my time and to the efforts in which I put into these relationships or friendships. So, it really fits in all areas of life. I think we mostly see it within like a romantic world or but situation, but it can be really anything and anyone that you have a connection with, that you may have to establish those boundaries with. So what do you do once you make this acknowledgement that these changes need to be made? We're making them, okay? We're making them. We're making better decisions on the day-to-day. We're acknowledging certain relationships, dynamics that need to change ultimately or be removed. We're not being fearful of disconnect, trusting and knowing that spirit is always going to replace anything that you lose with something even better. Understanding that nothing but greatness is coming into your life. So you have to be trusting of that in all areas, including relationships and connections with people. You also have to do what feels right. I think a lot of the times we know ultimately what feels right and what does not feel right. And a lot of the times people are very negligent about their intuition and how things, people, situations truly make them feel. I know recently my feelings have been very telling. I've been in a very emotional state, working through these things, working through the trauma and truly understanding myself better. And I've realized I can't fake the funk like I used to, certain people's energies surrounding me. It's like an ultimate turnoff. Like I just want to get off the phone immediately. I want to get out their face immediately. I don't even want to be on their Instagrams. Like I don't want to have to interact with these folks like that no more. And once you get to that point, you have to really acknowledge that energy and understand that this is spirit letting you know that this no longer serves you, baby, and this is not where you need to be around, and that there is better out there that is going to openly welcome you with loving arms. And you're not going to have to sit there and continue to be questioned anymore. You can truly be yourself, with the right company, with the right people, with the right support system. We don't have to continue to be in toxic situations based upon what it is that we are knowing up till now. This is why we're doing the healing. This is why we are doing the work, so that we can move forward and have a better reality for ourselves, trusting and knowing that we are deserving of that, and that we have done the work. And most importantly, we are committing to continuing to do the work, because these unions that come into play, they take surrendering for sure. They take work. They take acknowledgement of effort and extra. It's a lot of extra you ain't never had to do before. I'm gonna let you know that right now from the jump. But it's definitely gonna be worth it. But are you willing to be open and honest with yourself? Are you willing to be open and honest about the connections that you have built with other people and what they truly symbolize and what they mean to you? And are you gonna rid yourself of those energy vampires who love to keep you around when it's best for them and are inconsistent with you and your time and your energy? We don't deserve that. We don't deserve that. No one does, but especially those who are out here putting forth the effort and the work. Baby, we've done too much to continue to acknowledge that energy that surrounds us. So I think that's all I want to say. I know that was a lot, and this is kind of like all over the place, and hopefully I can edit it to make some sense, but that was heavy on my heart today. And I knew that if it was a message that truly resonated with me, it's something that can resonate with those out there who are embarking upon or in the midst of, or at that at that point within their ascension process where they're having to really truly take that look in the mirror and recognize certain things that lie within ourselves that are stopping us from ultimately being at that place of happiness, at being at that place of peace, and understanding that we are truly deserving of it all. It just takes that extra work, that extra acknowledgement ultimately, and trusting in spirit to guide you in the direction in which you need to go at this time. And let's just put an end to all toxicity, period. We don't need it in any forms, in any way in our lives, okay? In real life or on this internet life, I don't care, okay? Don't need it, get rid of it. It just doesn't suit you, sweetie. It doesn't suit you. You're a queen, you're a king. Act as such, okay? Only attract people who treat you as if you want to be treated. Nothing less, okay? But we always accept some more. I'm so done with myself. So I just want to thank all of you guys for your love and support. I am truly appreciative. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please comment as well. Comment anything, any toxic behavior or traits in which you are wanting to get rid of within this new year, because ultimately the new year is just now starting, baby. Okay, we got the spring equinox knocking around the corner. I don't think that's the right way to say it. This is around the corner. It's about to happen. It's a new year coming. Enjoy this shit, okay? Put nothing but greatness out there into the universe and trust that it is all coming back, baby. Thank you guys so much for your constant love and support. I am truly appreciative of it all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, if you would like to see more content like this in the future. I also put out some good content from Babes with Locks as well, and also just beauty content too. So I want to get back more into vlogging, so it's gonna be a little bit of everything on here. Just go ahead and subscribe because you don't want to miss it, okay? I appreciate all the love and support, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Y'all, I shot this whole video already in a time lapse, and I don't know how to edit that. So here we are. That was good practice. Woo! At least I know what I'm talking about. Retrograde ain't even doing, Mercury ain't even doing this retrograde shit, but I don't know what the fuck going on, bro. Alright.